business is full of pitfalls. You could buy a bad unit. Many things can happen to you. But something that you never ever hear anyone talk about, getting stuck at the storage facility. Most storage facilities let you in if you can get a gate code. Out there, things are a little sketchy in that regard right now. But most storage facilities, you can only get in if you have a gate code between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. Which, if you're a full-fledged, making things move, doing stuff, storage auction house, that can be a little bit limiting. I have unloaded units at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some places, when they're more flexible, would give you the 24-hour gate code. Because the thing is, if you're loading doing business operating hours, which are, to me, the hours that these storage auctions are going on, that's usually 9 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. So if you're loading during those times, you can't go to the auction. So essentially, I would do the loading off peak. And I'm telling you, I thought I was good. I thought I was good. This was at a public storage location over in Dunwoody. I knew the gate was going to lock me in at night, and it will lock you in at 9 p.m. If you can get that gate code in at 8:59, you good. But if you put that gate code in at 9:01, you stuck like Chuck. And I was pulling out stuff, I was running on the truck, and I kept looking at my watch. It's like 8:55, right? I was so arrogant. I thought, yeah, I can get this gate down, get out of here, get in the truck, and be at the gate before 9 o'clock, right? So I'm pulling up to the gate, and I look at my watch, and I'm like, oh, hell. It's like 9:05. I was like, wait a minute. I pull out my cell phone because, my watch was always fast. 9:01. So I'm sitting there, putting the gate code in, putting the gate. And I'm just stuck. Now, I could get out, but I could not get the truck out because there's a little gate that you pull open and you can walk out. And this was one of those properties, there was no property manager on site. I was like, man. So I backed the truck up and I thought about it. I was like, okay, we got two choices here. It's all right, 9 o'clock at night. What can you do? And I had another unit there that I needed to clean out. So I went back and guess what? I could not get inside the building because this was one where they didn't have a lot of outside units. And the unit I needed to clean was actually inside the building. Once again, gate code access did not work to let me get inside the building. I was like, crap. So I just backed the truck up in an area where it wouldn't be in the way. Then went to the gate and called a friend to come get me. Now, that was the most sane getting locked inside the gate story. I was just rushing it. Now, the other time that it happened, because it's happened to me twice. I should know better, but it's happened to me twice. And it was kind of funny. I had just lost track of town. It was off of Flat Shoals, Candler Road area, which, if you know the neighborhood, is not the most comfort-laden neighborhood because the storage facility is right next door to one of those extended stay motels. And when you go to the auction, you're walking down the hill and you see them, all those folks, they start coming out in their pajama pants and their flip-flops and stuff. And they're like, what y'all doing over there? Can I come? Just riff-raff talk. And I'm over there, and the unit I'm cleaning is like facing there, right? And there's all kind of people out there because you don't have shit to do. They're not employed, whatever outside is entertainment. So they're sitting there watching me, right? And I'm cleaning out the unit, and I hear them over there. Then it dawns on me that I have messed up because it was 9:30. I was stuck, and then there was the Hootie Hoo crew. I'm sitting there like, because they've been watching me the whole time. And that's the thing, when you're loading stuff, you don't really want anyone around. You don't want anyone to see what you're getting. And I was feeling kind of uneasy. Then Hootie Hoo and Leroy and Pookie just decide they come down from the second floor and they walk up as close as they can to the gate. I'm like, hey man, what you doing? And I'm just like, why are they talking to me? Yeah, we saw you were doing, you need any help, because hey, we could use a little extra change. And I'm like, they look like some of the most unsavory folks I've ever seen in my life. Not the type of folk to just casually stroll across the parking lot in their pajama pants, flip-flops. None of them had a shirt on. I'm just sitting there like, hey, I'm good, I got it. All right, man, you know, if you need any help, we'll be here. And they leave. They stayed at the gate and it was just like, what the hell? Now, this was my mistake because on the truck, I had 2 big screen televisions that they saw me load up. Plus, you could just see by the furniture and stuff, this was nice stuff. And there was enough street light that you can actually see I was dealing with some pretty nice merchandise. So I'm like, what do I do? Because I get out, I gotta leave this truck here. And they know what's in the truck. I think if I come back, these mofos would just break in the truck, hotwire it, crash out the gate and take my stuff. And I would catch all of the heat because it's my truck. You know, I'm be like, hey, I wouldn't drive. I'm like, well, your gate, you punched in the gate code and you didn't punch the gate code out. So it was just rough. I'm just sitting there and they still hanging on the gate, you know, and they talking and they smoking blunts. I can smell the blunt. I mean, I'm a good 30 feet away and I can smell the blunts. And I'm sitting there like, woe is me. And I went to the truck and I was like, okay, I got my 9. I had 2 clips. I was like, okay. It was like one of those, you know, guard post moments. Because when I was in the military, you know, you had to do guard duty and just sit somewhere. And I'm like, I'm going to have to sit here up all night with my truck to make sure my shit's intact. And I'm sitting there, I had to resign myself, locked and loaded, took the safety off. I was ready to do my thing. And I'm just sitting there looking at them and they're looking at me and I'm looking at them and they're looking at me. And it happens. The gate opens up. I'm like, what? The property manager was coming home. I was just like, thank you. And she was kind of fine. She had like a big old booty. And she was like, what you do? Oh, you got locked in. Ha ha! She was with her friends and they all laughing and everything. Hootie Hoo, Pookie Nim, and Leroy and Ray Ray that were on the gate. They looking kind of like, damn. Then they start trying to holler at the problem. Hey, shorty, you sure looking fine in them jeans. And she's like, I hate them. They just sober her up real quick. She's like, all right. I'll let you out because I need to get inside because I can't stand them. They always hanging on the gate. You know, if we have any break-ins, I know who to call. But that's some of the stuff that happened to me. You know, it ain't really sexy, but just one of the pitfalls of when you're like working hard and you're trying to make the best use of your time with storage facilities. These are some of the things that can happen to you. Like if you got a story, hey, I want to hear it because those are like the worst too because most of the time I was on top of my information and that never happened to me because if I knew that, because I knew the gates, because the manager would tell you, that gate's going to shut off and not, you ain't getting out. So I would stop doing whatever, like say 8:45, get downstairs and make sure that I was punching in at 8:55 or something because I have actually played around with that because I took the truck out and went back in there. It's like, this thing gonna lock me in. 9 o'clock, that sucker went open. I'm like, what? And most of these places, it ain't like you can just hop the gate. Can't do it because they have Constantino wire cameras on. You really, can you imagine you hop in the gate, cop goes by. Try to explain that. It ain't worth it. So that's the deal.